Link engaged.
Visit us at TeamSpeak.com.
Here we go. We're in the finals of TL Open number 26. We've taken it in this best of 5 series to the ZeNEXHack Caverns. In the bottom left, we have the blue Terran ZeNEXHack, who looked absolutely dominant against IS Time. He's now taking on a Zerg opponent in the form of TargA. In the top right is the pink Zerg. And Orb, one thing we haven't talked about is that this is going to be the final TL Open for just a little bit. But the top 8 players who have won a TL Open, and I believe there have been 10, but we're saying 8 because there have been double the winners, are going to be moving forward to a $1,000 tournament sponsored by TeamSpeak. So that's exciting to look forward in the upcoming months.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you guys pay attention and watch for that. Should be a great tournament. And of course, I feel like just, walking into this match, Hack right here is one of these players from Korea, from Team ZeNEX, that has really embraced that Korean style that we see Puma use a lot in ZVT. He really likes to go for, just maybe that Reactor Hellion expansion, but he also mixes in some mid-game Banshees every once in a while. A lot of these Terrans do like to go for this style where they get the starport, they just get one Banshee, they can use it for scouting and for some pretty much guaranteed drone kills, assuming you micro it correctly, and then they go ahead and switch off, get a Viking, so they can kill off Overlords around the map, which will be so effective to allow for their drops to be more effective later on in this game. We'll have to see if that's what we're going to be seeing here from Hack. Of course, Reactor Hellion expansion, just as the standard, wouldn't be a bad move, especially on a map like ZeNEXHack Caverns, where the natural is just so wide open and spread out. It can be a little bit difficult for Zerg players to defend just with the use of spine crawlers.
Absolutely. We see TargA sending one of his first drones, actually. I believe this was the 9th drone into the main base of ZeNEXHack. He wants to be sure that there's not any sort of 2 barracks going down before he drops that 15 hatchery. And you can't fault a guy for being safe. And look at this, he realizes there's no early pressure, so he says, I don't need a spawning pool, I'd rather have 2 more drones. It goes up to 16 supply before dropping that spawning pool. Very nice. The drone is still in the main base, doing a little bit of harassment as the barracks finish. With the Marine up in a complete wall, that drone is doomed to die, but he's done more than his value in the main base, getting scouting information.
Yeah, of course, he saw the lack of any gas from Hack. That is such a huge tell. I mean, there's really only 2 builds you can do here. Either go for the gasless expand or go for some type of all-in TLO style with like 7 barracks and mass Marine. Of course, not going to be the case here. He's not going to see any barracks on the way in Hack's base. He's just going to go ahead and use that extractor to just keep that drone alive, keep some scouting information alive until Hack has 3 Marines. He's not going to be able to out-DPS that, so we'll be able to just keep TargA's drone alive in the base of Hack, be able to scout out when is he going to take that gas, is he going to add on those additional barracks after after the command center, or is he going to get the gas first? And that's going to be really helpful for him. The fact that he just knows his opponent has no gas just opens up so many possibilities for him. As you said, he was able to go up to a couple more drones before getting that spawning pool. He knows his natural hatchery is completely safe, doesn't have to throw it on a spine crawler, anything of the sort. So he's going to be in a pretty good position coming to the mid game. But of course, the trouble on ZeNEXHack Caverns is taking the third. The natural, even though it's wide open, is not quite as difficult. Both thirds are blocked in some way or another by destructible rocks. So we'll have to see how TargA is going to try to manage to do that. Oh, does lose that drone now that there are the 3 Marines up. And unfortunately, he did not actually see those barracks go down, nor the command center. So TargA is just a little bit in the dark here.
But I think he should be able to infer that because there was no gas going on early. He should be able to know there's some sort of expansion going on, and now he's going to run a Zergling back into the secret hallway, going to make sure there's no shenanigans going on back there because Zerg players hate shenanigans. He's following up with roaches. He wants to be safe against any sort of Hellions. You can't fault a guy for that. And I want to see where he takes this. He's not going for any sort of quick tech. I would be interested to see if he gets aggressive with these roaches, which is a possibility. It doesn't look like he's moving forward for any sort of third base thus far.
Yeah, I think he is going to be aggressive, man. Because look at how early this Roach Warden is, and look at how he's not been making any drones right now. He's actually been, I believe, saving up some larvae, and yes, indeed, he has. He's making a whole bunch of roaches right now. Looks like 5 on the way so far. And actually, not too many. Sometimes I have players who can go for a really aggressive play. They will go up to a couple more. Actually, now 7.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that Overlord.
Oh, yeah, of course. I did miss that, but it looks like Hack, he still is not taking any gas. He just went up to 4 racks. This is very, very unorthodox. Most players would add on that gas, go up to that quick factory, get that tech lab so you can get the upgrades. So that means Hack is going to literally have only Marines and bunkers to defend. This could actually be very, very vulnerable to a Roach Ling bust.
Yeah, and Hack is actually going to land his orbital command before he scouted the map and made sure he's completely safe. These 2 Marines getting picked off. Going to try to run back, and let's see if he brings the orbital back. No, he's continuing to float it out. Looks like he feels like he's going to be safe. What do we have reinforcing for TargA? Production tab showing that he's making 8 lings, but these are slow lings. He doesn't even have Zergling speed, and here comes the engagement. Marines trying to move forward, picking off 1 roach immediately, but all the roaches moving forward, and looks like both sides want to fight. Butting heads going up against each other, and I think Hack just has enough Marines that he'll be able to defend this. Now running back to the bunker. TargA's going to have to show some nice micro. Oh, he's going right up trying to focus his bunker. No, he's going right into the main base, but the wall is up and he's forced back. And Hack looked like he defended that very comfortably.
He did. I feel like we had a couple mistakes here from TargA. I was about to say he should just go to the right of the expansion where the bunker's not going to be, and that's exactly what he's doing now. These slowlings not coming in, but of course if they had speed, they would be able to cut off those Marines from getting into the bunker, but without that critical speed upgrade, you know, TargA not really able to be quite as effective as he would like to be. He's going to maybe go for that bunker right now, but it's not going to be the right move. There are too many SCVs repairing it. He's just going to end up losing his entire army, and with the fact that he has not been making drones this whole game, it's 30 SCVs to 20 drones, and now TargA is going to be at a gigantic disadvantage.
Yeah, TargA lost a little bit of focus there because going for the SCVs is alright if you weren't going all in. While he didn't fully commit to an all-in, he was only making units that entire time. Now he switched back to making drones because he's realized the attack was over. But the purpose of that attack was to do damage, was to cancel the natural, and he didn't get that done. So now he's going to be behind, moving into the mid-game, just behind in the economy. But continuing to rally forward, this is a nice little move here. Getting behind the defenses, going to be able to drive away the SCVs yet again. So maybe he is getting some value here.
Yeah, absolutely. He is causing a lot of missed mining time from Hack, getting a couple SCV kills right now as well. Picking up some Marines. Looks like he was trying to target fire the orbital command, but he's got to be a little bit careful here because, of course, he is taking quite a bit of damage while he does that. He is going to target fire that orbital again. Hack is going to try to mine, but he's actually in a bit of trouble here since he wasn't able to add on another bunker over on the right side, so this area is very vulnerable. But remember, there are no reinforcements on the way. 3 more roaches now, but they won't be there in time. So this is going to be the end of the aggression from TargA now that Hack is going to be able to take out these last 3 roaches.
So after the game settles down, let's take a look at the state of the game. We've got 36 SCVs for Hack. We only have 33 drones for TargA. He's transitioning into a baneling nest. No layer on the way thus far. So continuing with roaches and putting down a 3rd hatchery. This is a macro hatchery at his natural. So he may want to be going for just a roach baneling kind of phase 2 break here.
It does look like he's going to be staying on 2 base for the time being. Otherwise, probably would have dropped that down, you know, over at another expansion. Why not in this situation? I mean, he does have map control with these roaches and lings, but he's got to be careful. He's actually running those roaches straight in. There's a marauder in there, which greatly increases the effectiveness of this army against roaches. And now he's going to lose all of these zerglings and roaches. He's got to be careful. There we go. Now the fallback happens. TargA is going to escape, but he can't afford to throw away any units right now because if Hack were actually able to move out with that army and go put on some pressure, TargA could be in some trouble. He is just making units right now. He does have optimal saturation actually over it in the natural and the main, so I mean his economy isn't that far behind. Really the only thing that's I feel keeping him in this game and not making that early attack and all in is the fact that he was able to deny so much mining time for Hack. That really kept him in the macro. But look at the food right now, 72 to 57. Usually we would see that reversed in this situation with the Zerg on top.
And look how scary it is looking in the main base of ZeNEXHack. He's got 6 barracks going, and 3 of them are going to have reactors. Meanwhile, he's got the starport up. Very timely there. He's got the reactor going in the factory, so we'll be able to swap those out. And that means in about 2 minutes from now, he's going to be able to flood with medevacs and hit a nice little attack there. TargA is trying to get back in the game with a baneling sneak. He's sneaking those in the bottom right and got those rallied into the SCVs. Let's take a look at if he's actually watching them and detonates them properly. This is going to be a big deal if he gets in there, kills some SCVs. That's going to be his ticket back into the game. Now moving back, let's see how quickly Hack realizes. He does realize and pulls very quickly. The banelings, a complete whiff. Going to be able to take out 1 bunker and a few Marines, but that was not the target he was looking for.
Not at all. That was a lot of gas that he just invested on those banelings. He's not going to have those banelings for defense at his main. Only has, looks like 5 there. So if Hack had actually gone for the aggression there, TargA could have been in some trouble, although he doesn't have that much of an army out in the middle of the map. But that was just really great reaction times by Hack, making sure he pulled those SCVs in time. If he had lost some SCVs there, TargA definitely would have been able to get back into this game. He does have baneling speed on the way, so it looks like that's what he's going to be using this lair for, at least for now. He does have a 3rd gas on the way, but he didn't go for the very quick quad gas, so he's not trying to rush up to Muta here. He's just going to be staying on Roachling Baneling. With that lair tech will allow him to get that roach speed. I'm surprised he hasn't started it yet, but that roach speed and baneling speed will make this ground army that much more effective. The problem here, and what I'm not liking out of TargA's play, is that he has not thrown down any creep tumors. He has no creep spread here.
Big ling attack at ZeNEXHack's natural. Ling's going to kill a lot of SCVs, and he's going to try to run up, but the door is shut. No, he gets into the main base. Going to be able to kill so many SCVs here. Looking at the income tab, SCVs are falling like crazy down to 42. He's going to be able to run and now kill a few more before the Marines get back and kill that. So that's a little bit of a win for TargA.
Yeah, great job to get back into this game. 23 worker kills throughout the game so far, and he evened it up 46 drones to 40 SCVs, now 42. So great play. Now he's going to move forward to take out the gold base, or take out the rocks rather, I should say, to be able to take that gold base. And look at that, he's sending more lings back into the Tasteless Secret Hallway. I feel like, I was about to say, Hack needs to scout that out, put some buildings down there. He does put up 2 supply depots. They will not be in time, though. His army might have to come back to defend against it. Yes, it will. He had them in the middle of the map. This is actually really great for TargA. What he's doing right now is actually buying time for himself. If that attack had come forward, he might have been just in a little bit of trouble since he's just now morphing in some more banelings. So great play by TargA.
And TargA gets through yet again, breaking through the supply depot, but he's forced back yet again. And as effective as that attack was for TargA, after the fact, Hack pulled all his main SCVs and didn't put them back to mining for about 20 seconds. So that's how much extra income he lost due to that attack. Now Hack feels comfortable to move forward with those medevacs. Going to control the ZeNEXHack watchtower and continue to push forward. He's got these medevacs sitting by the Overlord, so TargA should be aware of that. But he's not really keeping units in his main base. He's got a lot of queens back there and a lot of Zergling Baneling. But I feel like if Hack draws his attention somewhere else and then drops that in the main, I think these Marines are going to do a lot of damage in the main base of TargA.
Yeah, he did try to drop before, but it got cleaned up so easily. He just had to lift and go away. But now, as you said, the army from TargA out of position. He might just go for this army in the middle of the map. No, he's going to send them back to defend against this drop. It's going to move forward, try to snipe some of these drones. It's going to get the queen instantly. A couple drones going down. TargA losing the advantage he may have taken with those early SCV kills. Now he's going to come in with all these Zerglings and Banelings, but of course, the units can just lift up into those medevacs and escape. He's not lifting them. Oh, a Baneling explosion goes off. Not the best there for Hack. Did lose some of his units, but overall did a good amount of damage. And the units are out of position. He's going to try to snipe the macro hatch. No, he's not going to get it. Going to be forced to stand back. There are so many Zerglings and Banelings getting a surround on the army from Hack, and it looks like he's going to lose everything.
Wow. Hack lost a lot there, and meanwhile there was a Baneling sneak at the bottom right trying to break through that wall and take it down, but it looks like Hack dealt with that pretty handily. Let's take a look at the upgrades. We've got +1 attack for Hack, and we have no upgrades for TargA. When you're playing this really aggressive style, meanwhile a drop in the main base yet again of TargA, gonna get cleaned up as the drones are pulled, excuse me, and the queen gonna be able to go to work on the medevac. So when you're playing this Ling Baneling style, upgrades are so important. We've seen Stefano actually going Ling Baneling only against Terrans these days with quick +3, and it's working very effectively. So I would have loved to see him put more of this gas towards upgrades.
I would 100% agree. He's not using the gas for mutas. He's only on 3 gas right now. Generally, some Zergs, like Idra, will always go up to muta off 2 base, which can be a little bit difficult to pull off and still get upgrades, etc., and the right number of Banelings. But when you're going for this style, you're just staying on 2 base. You can, of course, get those upgrades. He's going to go for a huge engagement right now. I don't know if this is the best decision. The Marines are very well spread out, but he has a huge army coming in. Hack might just not have enough to defend, but it looks like the splash damage from these siege tanks is being very efficient, taking out the majority of those Zerglings and Banelings. And now most of them explode, and it looks like the entire army from TargA is going to get cleaned up. He was able to kill off some SCVs there, a lot of units as well, but I do not think that was the best move for TargA there, although here come the reinforcements. That could make a huge difference now. Hack, most of his army is actually with these medevacs, but he does land that siege tank on the upper ground, and that's going to make him pretty well secure here.
I think that could have gone the other way, but Hack played that beautifully, picking up his units in the medevacs and dropping them in the high ground. And now TargA has donated so many units. Yes, he traded armies, but take a look at the supply. 95 for Hack and 48 for TargA. Drop in the main base yet again, cleaning up so many drones. And that is probably going to be the last breath for TargA. He's not going to be able to come back from losing all of his main drones.
Yeah, it's 38 SCVs to 21 drones right now. You really, you can't make that work. Maybe if you had 3 base and you could just make all those drones all at once with the queen mechanic perhaps and get back up there, but it's not going to work here. There's the GG, well played, and we're going to see game 1 going to Hack.
And I got to give it to TargA, man. He played a very strong game there. I like the idea of the Roach Ling attack, despite not having speed on those Lings. It just hit a nice timing. He controlled it, it could have been better, but he still got a lot of damage done. And then that final attack, not the best decision, but he was kind of out of options, and he really gave Hack, I'm sure his heart or his blood pressure was moving up when that attack moved in, but he lifted and dropped very well. Hack, I think you had to say, had the better mechanics, but I like the ideas coming out of TargA.
Yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head there, so we're moving into game 2, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with that after this quick commercial break.